So we're here at the Council of Europe's Octopus Conference, which is something that takes place every 18 months. It is a global conference with global representatives who are basically members of, effectively, representatives to the global cybercrime convention, the Council of Europe Convention on Cybercrime, the Budapest Convention for short. What's important to note here in one of the workshops for us was the status of legislation. Where is the world currently when you look at legislation on cybercrime? Looking at the issue of consistency, looking at the issue of whether the Budapest Convention has become a model or not. And it was interesting to see the results. There was a comparison done by the Council of Europe where legislation and the status of legislation and readiness of countries in 2013 was compared with that of 2018. And what was incredibly useful was the data that came out of that. So I'd encourage people to go on the website and look at it, which shows that basically the status of cybercrime legislation, especially in substantive law and procedural law, has actually doubled in the capacity. So for instance, if somebody was, if a certain continent was at say about 38%, it's gone up to 62%. Those are the kind of statistics which actually are quite interesting, because you see that countries are starting to understand the importance of legislating in this area. And also what was interesting was to see, to the extent that they were legislating, they were being consistent with the Budapest Convention on Cybercrime. They were basically, interestingly enough, seeing that as a model. Whether or not they were a party to the convention, they were definitely using it as a model for legislative drafting, which I think is a testament to the way that it was drafted in 2001, which endures even to date and happens to become the global standard. So I think that was something we saw as a very positive. I think it's something that other countries need to sort of look into. And also, if you're drafting legislation from scratch or you're updating your legislation, do get in touch with the Council of Europe. I think it would be helpful for them to give feedback on what they and their experts consider maybe some useful pointers when you're drafting legislation. Thank you.